Something unsettling is happening in one of the holiest places on earth, Mecca. Witnesses reported a shocking phenomenon. Violent spirals of sand and dust suddenly rose near the sanctuary, covering the sky in a thick, swirling haze. At the same time, strange red lights cut through the darkness, appearing and disappearing within seconds. Is this only a natural phenomenon, or are we looking at something deeper? Many have begun asking an unsettling question. Could these events be connected to ancient prophecies about the end times? At the heart of Mecca stands the Kaaba, a cube-shaped structure draped in a black cloth, regarded as the spiritual center of Islam. Millions of people from every corner of the world turn their prayers toward this place each day. For believers, it is not just a building. It is a symbol of faith, history, and devotion. According to Islamic tradition, it was rebuilt by Abraham and his son Ishmael upon ancient foundations, making it one of the oldest sites of worship in human history. In one of its corners is the Black Stone, a relic surrounded by mystery. During the pilgrimage, the faithful try to approach it, touch it, or point toward it as they circle the Kaaba. Its origin is still debated. Some believe it may be meteoric in origin. Others see it as a symbolic relic preserved through the ages. But the mystery does not end there. The interior of the Kaaba is almost completely inaccessible. Its door is opened only on rare occasions, which has kept curiosity alive for generations. And that raises an unavoidable question. If this place has been a center of prayer for centuries, could it also become the focus of something even greater? Some connect these events to words recorded in the Bible, such as Matthew 24, where Jesus warns of signs on the earth, conflicts, disasters, and changes that will shake the world. And then it happened. Without warning, enormous columns of sand began rising near the city. What at first looked like ordinary wind quickly turned into massive whirlwinds, moving with force, covering everything in their path. The air grew thick, visibility vanished. The sky shifted into a disturbing shade of orange. Pilgrims were trapped in moving clouds of dust as videos recorded on phones began spreading rapidly. Experts explain that these phenomena can happen in desert regions because of sudden temperature changes. Even so, many witnesses agreed on one thing. The intensity and speed of these formations were not normal. The questions came quickly. Was it only a storm or something out of the ordinary? Throughout history, extreme natural events have led humanity to reflect. Storms, earthquakes, and signs in the sky have often been interpreted as warnings or wake-up calls. And this time was no different, because shortly afterward, something even stranger began to appear in the night sky. Witnesses saw red streaks moving rapidly. They were not planes or satellites. They were intense crimson flashes cutting across the sky like horizontal lightning, then vanishing within seconds. Some people claimed they saw them in clusters. Others saw them only one at a time, but they all agreed on one thing. They had never seen anything like it before. And that leads to the final question. What is really happening over Mecca? The lights moved with an eerie smoothness, yet at an impossible speed, far faster than any aircraft. They lasted only a few seconds, just long enough to be seen, but not long enough to be understood. Many tried to record them, but they almost always disappeared before anyone could capture a clear image. So what were they really? Scientists have proposed several explanations. Some suggest they could be electrical phenomena in the upper atmosphere, similar to what are known as red sprites, flashes that appear above intense storms. Others believe they may have been meteors that took on a reddish color when passing through certain gases in the atmosphere. But one detail continues to trouble many observers. These lights appeared shortly after the violent sandstorms, and that caused many people to ask whether the events were connected. Throughout history, unusual signs in the sky have often been interpreted as messages. Ancient civilizations saw them as warnings, omens, or signs of something greater. The Bible itself speaks of such moments. In Luke 21:25, it says, "There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and on the earth distress among nations." For many believers, those words come alive whenever the sky reveals something out of the ordinary. And in the middle of all this, one element once again captures the attention of the world: the Black Stone. Located in one corner of the Kaaba, this relic has been an object of fascination for centuries. At first glance, it appears to be a group of dark fragments held together within a silver frame. Despite its size, its meaning is immense. During the ritual of Tawaf, thousands of pilgrims try to approach it. Some are able to touch it. Others simply point toward it with reverence as they pass by. According to Islamic tradition, this stone was sent down from heaven and placed during the rebuilding of the Kaaba by Abraham and Ishmael. Some beliefs say it was originally white, but darkened over time as it absorbed the sins of humanity. Whatever the interpretation, its spiritual impact is undeniable, and yet its true origin remains a mystery. Some researchers suggest it could be a fragment of a meteorite. Others believe it is an ancient stone preserved because of its symbolic value. But because of its sacred status, it has never been fully studied, and that has only deepened the mystery. For believers, it is a relic of faith. For historians, it is a surviving trace of the ancient world. For many others, it remains an unanswered question. And once again, an unavoidable thought emerges. Could this object, preserved for thousands of years, hold a deeper meaning than we truly understand? Meanwhile, global interest continues to grow. Because when unusual events unfold around places already heavy with history, the questions only multiply. Over time, sacred places have often been associated with symbolism, interpretation, and even prophetic warnings. And the Kaaba is no exception. Some have proposed more controversial theories, linking these symbols to passages from the Book of Revelation. There, the arrival of a powerful figure is described, known as the Beast, along with a false prophet who will influence the world through spiritual deception. Because of the Kaaba's global significance, some have speculated about possible symbolic connections. Even the black stone has been drawn into these interpretations. But one thing must be understood clearly. These ideas are debated, and they do not represent a universal view. Many scholars insist that the true meaning of the Kaaba is spiritual and religious within Islam, not prophetic or occult. Even so, the existence of so many interpretations reveals something important. When a symbol carries that much historical weight, it inevitably raises questions, not only about the past, but also about the future. And even more so when the sky itself begins to show signs that no one can fully explain. Today, the Kaaba remains a center of faith, but it has also become a point where history, mystery, and unanswered questions seem to meet. And those questions lead into something even deeper: prophecy. Long before cameras or social media existed, the Bible already warned about a time of growing chaos in human history, a period marked by confusion, instability, and changes that would shake the world. Jesus spoke plainly about these times in Matthew 24. The passage records a direct warning. There will be wars, conflicts between nations, famines, and earthquakes in various places. According to these words, humanity would experience increasing tension before a decisive stage in history. But the signs would not be only physical, there would also be spiritual deception. Jesus warned that false leaders would arise, people who would appear to carry authority while distorting the truth. In the Book of Revelation, that warning becomes even stronger. It describes a global system of power, symbolically represented by the beast, accompanied by a false prophet who will influence multitudes through signs and deception, a system in which loyalty will determine who can participate in daily life, even in economic activity. For centuries, these passages have been debated. Some interpret them as symbols of corruption and abuse of power. Others believe they describe literal events still yet to come. But beyond all interpretations, one message remains constant: stay alert, stay firm, and remain spiritually prepared. The purpose is not to create fear, but awareness. Because when the world begins to change, people start looking for answers. And that is when these ancient texts begin to feel alive again. As people look at what happened, the sandstorms, the lights in the sky, the mystery of the black stone, an unavoidable question rises once more. Are these simply natural events or signs of something greater? Throughout history, unexplained events have led humanity to reflect, especially when they happen in places already charged with spiritual meaning. And in moments like these, people return once again to the ancient writings, seeking answers, seeking meaning. The Bible insists on one key point: no one knows the exact moment when these events will take place. But there is a clear instruction: stay awake, watch, discern, and remain firm in the faith. Because the true focus should not be fear, but spiritual clarity. When human beings are confronted with the unexplainable, a sudden storm, strange lights in the sky, unusual events in sacred places, the deepest questions begin to surface. What does this mean? Why now? And what are we supposed to do? For many believers, the answer is direct. These moments are calls to examine one's life, strengthen one's faith, and remain prepared. Not to live in fear, but to awaken. History shows that great changes often begin quietly, with signs that at first seem small or difficult to understand. Only with time does their true meaning become clear. Perhaps these events in Mecca have a natural explanation, or perhaps we still do not fully understand them. But they have already accomplished something important. They have made the world stop, reflect, look beyond what is visible, and remember that the future spoken of in ancient texts may be closer than we imagine. Because even in the middle of mystery, one truth remains. Times change, but the personal decision remains the same. At first, everything seemed normal. A few birds crossed the sky above the brightly lit mosque. Nothing seemed unusual. But within minutes, something changed. Their number began to grow. Dozens, then hundreds. And the strangest part was not the number itself, but their behavior. They were not flying at random. They were gathering directly above the Kaaba, tracing wide, repeated circles as if they were following an invisible pattern. The pilgrims began to notice. Some slowed their pace, others stopped completely. The atmosphere changed. The birds did not scatter. They stayed there, circling again and again, as though responding to something no one could see. Their movements were precise, coordinated, almost intentional. Moments like this call to mind ancient words. The heavens declare the glory of God. Psalm 19:1. And while everyone was watching, something else began to change. A soft breeze moved through the courtyard, almost unnoticeable at first. But within seconds, it grew stronger. The wind lifted dust, sand began to shift. The air became heavy. Then everything broke loose. Violent gusts struck the area. Dust filled the atmosphere and the sky darkened quickly. The storm arrived without warning. And then came the rain, intense, sudden, relentless. The marble became slippery. Within seconds, water began rushing across the ground, forming dangerous currents. Chaos replaced calm. Some people slipped. Others helped one another stay upright. Objects were dragged away by the water. Shouts, confusion, urgency. The crowd searched for shelter while the wind roared and thunder shook the sky. Within minutes, the place of prayer was transformed into a scene of desperation. And once again, the world turned its eyes toward the Kaaba, a sacred place now surrounded by mystery, power, and unanswered questions. For centuries, its interior has remained hidden. Only a few people have ever entered. There are reports of marble walls, ancient pillars, the fragrance of incense, and objects preserved over time. Some accounts even mention treasures, manuscripts, and hidden compartments discovered during restoration work. But most of these details remain shrouded in secrecy, and that only deepens the mystery. Because what millions of people see from the outside is only part of the story. And that night, the sky did not remain silent either. A glow appeared above the city, faint and distant at first. But little by little, it took shape. A perfectly circular ring of light suspended in the darkness. It did not flicker. It did not fade. It remained there, hovering with an unsettling precision. People began to point. Phones were raised. The phenomenon was clear, visible, impossible to ignore. Then more lights appeared. Small, bright points moved in different directions. Some drifted slowly. Others appeared and vanished within seconds. They followed no obvious pattern. They did not look like airplanes or any ordinary phenomenon. The sky had become a stage for the unknown. Meanwhile, the ring continued on its silent path, steady, unexplained. At that point, many remembered ancient words about signs in the heavens, echoing passages like Genesis 1:14. And although some tried to find explanations, no one could say with certainty what was really happening. Because when the sky changes and the earth responds, humanity always ends up asking the same question. Are we witnessing simple natural phenomena or signs of something far greater?